Hello and welcome, a huge welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining me on this workshop today to understand a little bit more about our teenagers' behaviour and understanding, is it typical teenage attitude you've got going on at home or something a little bit more serious? My name is Laura Thomas. I'm a teen and family therapist and I am here to take you through how to recognise the signs and what to do if you do spot the signs that something more serious is going on for your teenager. I will also be giving you one phrase that will help you out in any situation with your teenager that will get them to open up and get the communication flowing. So without further ado, let's move on. If it will work. So this workshop is for you if you want to feel more confident in recognising, is it attitude or something more serious? If you are frustrated that your teenager is shutting you out and you want to learn ways to open them up, and if you dream of being able to say the right thing at the right time, then that one phrase is going to help you out. So hold tight for that. And hold tight till the end. I have got an offer for you. Now, the reason I'm telling you about that now is I hate to sitting through workshops thinking they're going to try and sell me something at the end of this. They're building up, no one's telling you the price, it's all getting a bit stressful, and I switch off. So I'm going to be very transparent and tell you exactly what's coming at the end of this workshop, and that is that today I am launching the Parent Teen Connect membership. It's something that I am so excited to get out to you, and I will tell you all about it at the end of the workshop, but I wanted to just let you know how much it is, because I would be thinking, yeah, all right, how much? £6.99 for you guys that are on this workshop today. £6.99 per month forever. Well, until your teenager no longer, or you don't need the support of the Parent Teen Connect. I'll let you know exactly what you get in the membership, but I just wanted to be completely transparent and throw it out there. This workshop gives you a little bit of a taster about how I work, some of the stuff that you would probably get. A lot of the stuff in the workshop, I go into much more detail in the membership. So this is a bit of a broad overview, but we'll still give you lots and lots of tips and strategies. So let's move on. How many times have you wished that you knew what was going on in your teenager's mind, but you've held back because you were worried that you'd get it wrong or you'd make things worse? I speak to so many parents that hold back. They know something's going on with their teenager, but they hold back because they're terrified that they might get it wrong, or they'll say something that will make things worse for their teenager or ruin the relationship a little bit more. This is all about building confidence in you, so you know with the right skills that you can speak to your teenager and hopefully get them to open up so they talk to you. So that's what all of this is about. It's about building confidence and to stop second guessing yourself. Which moves on to this. How often have you felt like this? Worried that their mood swings, worried if their mood swings are normal or something more serious. Worrying that feeling helpless because your teenager has shut them out and let me start that again. Feeling completely helpless that your teenager has shut you out and you're left second guessing on what to do. Feeling frustrated that every conversation that you are having is turned into an argument or, God forbid, those silences. I have 2 teenagers myself. I am in this with you. They go silent, I panic. I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? What's going on in their mind? So even though I do this for a living, I am still with you at this last one, lying awake at night, wondering if I'm doing the right thing, right? Am I doing too much? Have I not done enough? Did I say the right thing? Did I say not the right thing? I'm with you on all of this. So please be assured that you have a professional aspect coming in, but also a very personal one, because I have felt all of these probably within the last month, probably in the last week. But I want to feel like this. I want to feel confident in understanding what's really going on in their mind without doubting myself, right? To feel confident that I am saying the right stuff. To be able to have calm, open conversations with my teenager where they feel safe to come to me to talk to me about anything, knowing that I can hold their stuff and that I will react appropriately. To feel assured that I am giving the right support and navigating them through the world of teenagehood. And also to be able to create much more stronger connected relationships that will last throughout the years ahead. Because is that not what we're all here for, right? We want our teenagers to be fully formed, fully functioning members of society that want to come back and have their Sunday dinner with us. Maybe that's just my dream, but that's what I'm aiming for. The problem, now this is what I'm hearing, this is where I've been with my own teenagers. We've tried it all. Now I'm assuming the fact that you've signed up for this workshop means you are looking for a different aspect to help manage your teenagers' behaviour and understand their mental health. So it might be that you've gone to parenting books and you've read it. I have got 2 parenting books out there. I'll explain them all in a minute because they're a little bit different to other parenting books. But you've tried parenting books. You've taken your child, or you've gone to therapy yourself. You have asked friends about what's happening for their teenagers, and we've all been there with Google. We've tried to figure out what's going on for our teenager by Googling the symptoms. Just an FYI, Young Minds and the NSPCC are the best websites out there to get information about your teenager and to give you really helpful, useful information. Be careful of where you're getting your info and advice off the internet. So, Young Minds and NSPCC. But we will naturally go towards the school, the GP, and CAMS, which is the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service. Now, these services are brilliant, but they are stretched. They are so stretched. Now, if anyone has gone to these services, you will know that even if you've sat on that waiting list for 2 years to get support for your teenager, when you do get support, it is often sporadic, it's short term, it's often not in depth enough to make a difference. And that's not trying to scaremonger. That is the way the world is at the moment. And this is where all of this has been born out of. I was getting to the point where I was having so many parents and teenagers coming to me like there has got to be something else we can do. For example, if your teenager has a physical illness, disability, new diagnosis, we would go out and do all of this stuff. We would speak to people, we would read books, we would Google, we would go to the school, we would advocate for our teenager, and I would I would bet that you would get a lot of support put in place quite quickly if it was a physical illness or a disability. Mental health, it goes, I don't know what happens. I genuinely don't know what happens when our teenagers start struggling with anxiety or depression or self-harm or anything else that's going on there. Services aren't there to support. Us parents panic and trying to find support, get professional support, and we just don't know what to do with it. If anything, we tend to go inward. We tend to retreat because we're worried it might reflect badly on our parenting. What have I done wrong to make them have mental health issues? We do all sorts of weird stuff when we're talking about mental health. And we're not going to do that anymore, because this Parentology and the Parent Teen Connect is all about giving you the confidence to manage your teenager's mental health without doubting yourself, so you can feel assured that you are doing the best you can. I hope that makes sense. I get quite passionate about this because the services aren't there anymore. We've got to do something to help ourselves and to help our teenagers. So that's what all this is about. I am giving you everything in my brain out to you so you can help and feel more confident with your teenager. So, a bit more about me. So, my name's Laura, as I've already said, and I've been working with teenagers since 2003. So, I've worked in education, I've worked in specialist schools, I've worked in mental health services. I have also worked in social services, as well as a whole heap of charities, such as homeless charities for young people, care leavers, carers, the whole shebang. So with all of that experience back in 2016, 2017, I thought I need to come out of these services because there was so much red tape, there was so much bureaucracy, that I thought I need to get away from that, and I need to just work with teenagers one-on-one and parents one-on-one to really understand what's going on for them, and then offer them support and get them out of the rut that they're in, or offer support, offer advice, offer something to get you out or get them out of the rut that they're in. Back in 2016, I did a master's in mental health in adolescents, and my research was all about how parents were perceived in the education system. It's a heavy old piece of research, but it was very interesting in what came out of that. And basically, I don't think it will surprise you, is that parents felt belittled, they felt insignificant, and they didn't feel listened to. So I don't think that's changed a lot in the years, especially with COVID that flew in. So if you ever wanted to read the research, you can have a copy of it. But anyway, it's all built to building up to parentology, because I want to get everything that I know out to you guys. So that's a bit more of my background. If you join the Parent Teen Connect, or you're part of the membership, if you're part of the Facebook group, you will hear a lot more about me and my background. But if you want to know anything, drop me a line, drop me an email. Anyway, let's move on to what we're really here for. So, is it attitude or is it anxiety? How to quickly recognise the signs. Attitude is surface behaviour, right? It's the surface behaviour of what's going on for your teenager. It is very rarely just attitude. So I'm just going to throw that one out right now. Is it attitude or anxiety? It's going to be something else. If you've got prolonged surface level behaviour, there's something else going on. I was going to say something, but I'll let you know. I think it's on a different slide. Behaviour is a window into their inner world. So whatever behaviour your teenager is portraying, it is a window into what is going on behind them. Now, it could be that they are just hungry or they are just tired. It could be something like that, which has got a real easy fix, but it also could be something more in depth, more deeper. So any attitude you get, whether it's grunts, eye rolls, a shrug, tends to mean something else is going on, because teenagers can talk. If they're not talking to you normally, then there is probably something else on their mind, and it's our job as parents to understand that. Let me go into this a little bit more. The iceberg of teen attitude. Right, you all know what an iceberg is, obviously. Iceberg has a tiny bit at the top. Underneath, there is a whole lot more going on. So the behaviour you are seeing, the attitude you are seeing is like this: eye rolls, grunts, door slamming, sarcasm. My God, my 16-year-old could win an award in sarcasm. There's sometimes I can't say a single sentence without a sarky comment coming back. I wish I was quick like her, but they are quick. They will withdraw. So you will get this attitude coming out. And let me move my face, hold on. Underneath, there will be all of this other stuff going on. They might be feeling anxious, jealous, confused, embarrassed, humiliated, regret. They might be overwhelmed. They might be feeling vulnerable. There might be all sorts of stuff. I'll go into more of these feelings in a moment, but there is going to be something else underlying that behaviour. Think about your own attitude, right? You wouldn't really call it an adult with attitude, would you? I've just thought about that. We would automatically think there was something wrong. If I started slamming doors in my house, people would know there was something going on. If a teenager does it, they've got attitude. So why are we doing that differently? So let's try and understand that if they're slamming doors or they're grunting at us or they're withdrawing, there is something else going on, and it's our job to get underneath that excuse my fringe, underneath that iceberg to find out what it is. If my slide will work. Let me put myself back down here. So let's have a little bit of reflection. Let's reflect on a recent interaction that you have had with your teenager. So for me, it could be that sarcasm. Every sentence there was a sarky comment. And have a think about what behaviour did you notice and what might be beneath it. So how did you know that there was something going on? So did they slam doors? Were they being sarcastic? Did they withdraw into their room? Did they just go silent? And what do you think is beneath it? Jot down 3 possible beneath the surface reasons. So grab yourself a pen and paper and just jot a little something down, or even just have a think about it, because it's important we start putting this stuff into practice. If they've come home, we go into some examples in a minute, but if they come home and they are not in a good mood, your brain will already be making sort of assumptions as to what's going on for them there and then. You won't know exactly what's going on, but your brain's very quickly, as a parent, will be figuring out what's happening for them. So have a little jot down of a recent time that there was something going on for your teenager. What did you notice and what do you think was going on? You can pause the video. I won't sit here in silence for a few minutes while you do that, but pause the video and have a little think. Oh, what's going on with this? Come on. So when your teenager seems disengaged or distant, so I don't mean always silent, but I mean disengaged, like they're not connecting with you. They are grumpy. They are storming around the house. They're sitting in their bedroom without coming out. How would you typically respond? Let me give you an example. So your teenager comes home from school, heads straight to their room without saying a word. They've probably thrown their bag down, they've dumped their coat and they've gone straight to their room. That's a bit different. We don't normally have that sort of behaviour. You leave them to it because you're thinking, oh, I don't know what's going on there. By dinner time, it's one-word answers you're getting, the death stares that they're shooting you across the table, and the arguments with their older siblings are all bubbling over. So we have a really bad atmosphere going on at dinner time. You know something's going on, you're not done. You can see something is happening to your teenager. Got no idea what to do. So what do we tend to do? I know I certainly do it. I shout, I sap at them. I scream, everyone, just shut up, pack it in. I don't know what's wrong with you, but stop it now, right? I'll lose it. I'll be like, oh, just shut up. We all do that. Well, I hope we all do it. It might just be me. But we can lose ourselves, right? Let's go through this example. How I choose, because I am an adult, they are a teenager, I'm an adult, how I choose to respond really matters. So I've got some options for you, 3 options. Option 1, I will assume they will tell me what's up in their own time. Excuse that typo. Assume they will tell me what's up in their own time. This is, if I just leave them in their room, this is driven by the worry that I will say the wrong thing. I might have had a really tough day. I might be feeling tired. And if I'm totally honest, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with the teen drama. There's something going on. I can't deal with the fallout. I'll leave them to it. I'll leave them up there, right? So I'll assume that if they want something, they'll come and see me. Yeah, we've all done that. Again, I say we've all done that. I hope we've all done that. It might just be me. But we've left them in their room. Option 2, we will push them to talk. This is driven by our own anxiety and our own fear. Our instinct as a parent is to fix. So we might go back upstairs to them, knock on their door. What's wrong? What's going on? They will shout because we're going and going, what's wrong with you? What's happening? We'll push, and they will shout back. Right? So again, we're not getting any sort of interaction going on there. They've got stuff going on. This is completely driven by our own fear that something really bad is happening and our own anxiety that they might do something. The media is filled with stuff about teenagers self-harming, committing suicide, having dark thoughts, going on the internet, doing all this stuff. It's out there, but they're not, they're trying to figure this stuff out themselves. Their minds are trying to process it. We are driven by fear, by what the media is telling us, or maybe if your teen has self-harmed in the past or had darker thoughts, we would be very worried about that. Now, I'm not saying just ignore them because the option 1 isn't the best either, but I'm also saying don't be too intense with them because that will give you the same response as leaving them. They will push you out. They will tell you to go away and do one. Option 3, it's this one, by the way. We will build autonomy and we will support them. So we would allow them to figure their own ways out of it, but let them know that we are right there for them if they need us. This is driven by predictability, and as you grow with Parentology and the Parent Teen Connect, you will understand how to notice these behaviours and what to do with them. So if they are coming in a really bad mood, we predict, we understand, we already know what's kind of going on because we are so connected with our teenager, we understand their world, so it's predictable. We're not taking it personally. The fact they don't talk to us or say hello or how was your day, mum? We don't take it personally. They don't hate us. They are dealing with a lot of stuff in their mind. What we do with this one is we will give them space, but we will pop up with their favourite snack in half an hour and we will knock on the door and say, is everything okay? Right, really nicely and gently. They will, I would guarantee, probably grunt at you, say, I'm fine. You know they're not fine, but they'll say, I'm fine. And then we leave them alone. We take that as what it is. We give them their snack. We leave the room and we come away. After a little while, we will go back and we will ask again, are you okay? What's going on? There is one phrase that I will add in here that we will learn in a moment, but we need to, what we do by just popping into their room every every half hour, every 20 minutes is saying, I see you're not okay, but I'm here to talk whenever you're ready. Yeah, so you're offering the fact that you are there. They know you're there. They can see you're there. And you're saying, come and talk to me when you're ready. If you leave them alone, they will think you don't care. Even if they're grunting at you and saying, I'm fine, go away, leave me alone. Their minds are still going, mum's there or dad's there. They're still there for me. They're still there for me. Even though they don't know how to tell you that. They know you're there. So don't take it personally if they tell you to get out of their room. But by showing up every half hour, you are saying to them, I'm ready for you when you are. Yeah? So understand that something else is going on. Don't just assume they can figure this one out. I'll go into that. I know I keep saying I'll go into stuff, but there is stuff coming. The difference between the attitude and the anxiety. And when I'm talking about anxiety, I'm talking about all the other serious stuff. It just went well with the title, anxiety and attitude. Attitude is surface behaviour. It's the behaviour we are seeing. Underneath, there is something else that is driving that behaviour, right? There always is. So it could be just something simple like they're hungry or they're tired, in which case the snack you take them, voila, their behaviour changes. All right, if it doesn't change, there's something else going on. How to tell the difference between all of this? It can only come from them. They have to be able to tell us. All we are doing is we are assuming. We are seeing their behaviour and we are assuming something is going on, and we're doing the best job we can as parents to predict what's happening. But ultimately, we don't know what's happening for them until they tell us. So that leads us on to the second part of how to get the communication going. If they're just saying to us, I'm fine, or they're grunting, or they're rolling eyes, or they don't want us in their room, then how the hell do we get them to communicate? It is essential that we build this up. Even if you are getting the I'm fine grunts, eye rolls, stonewall, we call it, where they just block you out, your persistence and consistency will break that in a good way. That sounds like we're going to threaten them and jump into their space. We are doing this. We are showing them that we are there. Their job, and I do go into this absolutely in the Parent Teen Connect, is boundaries. Their job is to push that boundary. They don't want you in their life. They don't want you interrupting their thoughts. They need to see that you are still there, if that makes sense. So just being present shows them that you're there, and being consistent with that. Gone off track a little bit. But being clear, confident communication is key to unlocking your teenager's world. They just don't have the words for it just yet. Let me explain. Let me move myself over to this brain if I can. All right, I'll put myself there. So teenagers' brains are under construction. Let me explain what I mean by this. You're going to have to exclude the chip nail varnish because it's just been Christmas and I haven't done it. All right, the teenager's brain. This is your brain. This is your spinal column. This bit here is your prefrontal cortex. Where's me thing? There's this bit here. Right here on the front is your prefrontal cortex. That's our logic thinking, our decision making, the starts of our working memory. All of that is coming from here, okay? So this, in an adult mind, in our minds, fully formed, right? Fully functioning. Underneath is the amygdala, just here. It's right in the centre of the brain here. This has been fully formed since birth. They are born with this part of the brain fully functioning. This is their fight and flight system. This is their survival system. This is where most of their emotions and their hormones are coming out of. So what can happen is the emotional brain is firing out the emotions. As an adult, we can logically figure our way out of it. So we've had a really bad day at work, right? We're feeling really angry with our boss. Something's happened. We're not happy. We come home. As time goes on, we can logically figure our way out of that. So tomorrow I'm going to speak to my boss about it, tell him I'm not happy. We can figure that one out, right? Teenagers don't have this bit fully formed. So it's kind of like here, right? It's not fully formed. That means these emotions can fire out really quite uncontrollably, as you know, because you've got a teenager, right? So they will be firing out these emotions, but can't logically figure out why they're feeling the way they are. We can as adults, they can't as teenagers because this logic isn't working. So they don't have the same logical mind that we have. And that's where we step in as parents. We have to enable them and teach them how to word what they are feeling. Because if we can understand what's going on in here, we can help them a lot more. And we do that by using a feelings wheel. Let me move myself again. I'll have to go up here now. All right, the feelings wheel. So we need to get them to understand what they are feeling. This is an amazing tool. You can get these off the internet and on the Google. And what they do is they break down our feelings into different words, because the way we word our feelings is so important. So if you look in this center circle here, these are the basic emotions that we have. Let's use angry, for example. If a teenager is coming into me and saying, I am so angry at school, teachers, whatever, my perception of anger is they are red rage and ready to punch someone. Right? That's my perception of anger. If you break it down into the second and the third circle, if you actually word it as I feel really let down that my teacher didn't do blah, 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 that changes the whole emotion and will change how we respond to it. So if they're angry, if my child's angry, I want to fix. If my daughter comes in and says she's angry, I want to fix her and sort the problem out. If she comes in and says that she's feeling let down, I then want to comfort her. I want to look after her. I want to nurture her. So the way I react will change depending on what they say. So our job as a parent is to give them this tool to help them word their emotions better. So going back to our example, if they're in their room because you know there's something going on, they've not had a good day, if after a few hours they are starting to opening up a little bit and they've softened because the emotional part is starting to calm down, we can then go in with a tool like this. And again, the Parent Teen Connect membership will have all these tools. We can go into their room with a tool like this and ask them to say, I feel, pick a feeling, I need what they need to not feel like that way. So let's use humiliated, right? So say that they've come in and they've stormed upstairs because they've fallen out with their friend because a friend broke their trust and told everyone the secret that they had told them, right? So they're feeling humiliated. They're feeling angry. They're coming and go, I'm so angry with her. She broke a promise. She said she wouldn't tell anyone my secret. Are you feeling angry, or are you feeling actually quite humiliated or disrespected, or what else we got here? there's some around here, you'll feel quite disappointed in them. So do you see how that changes the whole emotion there? So I feel quite disappointed that so-and-so has broken my trust. I need an apology from them. It doesn't mean they're going to get it. It doesn't mean they're going to get what they need, but what they're doing is they're verbalizing it. And what we are doing here is we are building emotional literacy for them. So I feel disappointed. I feel let down. I need an apology from them to feel better. Even just verbalizing that will make your teenager understand what they're feeling a little bit better, and will help them understand what they need. So this is an amazing tool to give to your teenager to help them understand. And please use it yourself. My goodness, how many times we have so many feelings and emotions, but we only have these 5 words that we use, or 6 words, 7 words that we can use. I feel sad, I feel happy, I feel disappointed. We don't have the vocabulary to verbalize what we're actually feeling. So let's start teaching our teenagers on what to do with them. Oh, come on. Why is it not working? So here's a few tips to recap what we've been talking about. So let's use our example. Your teenagers come in, they've thrown their coat on the floor, they've stormed upstairs, right? Typical surface teenager behaviour. They're disrespectful. They've chucked their coat on the floor. They haven't even said hello. How rude. So that's the attitude that we see, right? The typical teenage behaviour. How we respond to that is the biggest thing. So we're going to pause before we react. We're going to take a moment to think, no, there's obviously something else going on here. Not being disrespectful for no reason. All right. So we're going to have a think about what might be going on. Oh, hold on. They had that presentation today. That might not have gone too well. Or, oh, I wonder what happened with so-and-so. They were having a bit of a fallout with them. You can kind of start to predict what's going on rather than reacting to the fact they've just thrown their coat on the floor. Ask open questions. So when you pop in with your snack, just say to them, what's been tough today? What's been going on today? Rather than trying to pick at them, what's wrong? What's happening to you? What's going on? Rather than doing that sort of behaviour, just open up the conversation and allow them to talk. If they don't want to talk, walk away, come back 30 minutes later, try again. Don't just leave them on their own, because they will not be able to process these big emotions on their own. And all it will do is kind of fill an imaginary bucket in their brain of emotions that aren't processed. Again, this all comes up under the membership. If you would like to join, I will go into this in much more detail about how important it is to process emotions as they are coming up. But ultimately, we need to get them talking. We're going to offer them a word. So we're going to learn. So let me just be honest with you. If I turn around to my 14-year-old with the feelings wheel, she'll look at me like I've got 3 heads. She'll be like, I ain't doing that. Do the attitude, the surface behaviour. Now, what's behind that is probably because she doesn't understand what I'm asking her to do. So I would use the feeling wheel for myself. I would try and understand it as best I can, and then I would offer them a word. So they come and say, oh, so-and-so told everyone my secret. Then I would say, God, that must feel really disrespectful. I mean, you trusted her. That must feel really quite humiliating that people might be laughing. You empathise with them. Okay, so we encourage them to articulate their feelings using the words that we are going to learn ourselves. What would you do? Let's have a moment to just think about what you would do. So imagine that your teenager has stormed into the house, they've slammed their bag down, and they mutter that everyone's so annoying before heading straight to their room. Grab that piece of paper and that pen and have a little think now about what you would do or what you would change. Or maybe even reflect about what you have been doing and what you would like to do to change. I will say changing habits is hard. So do be consistent with this. I'm giving you probably brand new tips and advice on what to do. Maybe you're already using these, but have a moment to think about how you would implement those and what you would do differently if your teenager was to come in tomorrow, storm up to their room. How would you change your behaviour? Because remember, teenagers are in this emotional part, we are in our logical part. So allow them to be in the emotional part. We will help them build the logic. You are an adult, you can figure this one out. Don't take offence to the coat on the floor. Go and find out what's going on, or the bag on the floor. Just remember that I feel I need. Practice it yourself, try it everywhere, go out there, speak to your partner, your friends, your family. I feel. Really important phrase. It's a brilliant one. Now, let me just move myself here. Oh gosh, didn't think this one through, did I? Right, so the way that we are looking at connection and communication is about building crystal clear understanding and understanding how we can connect to them. So before we can connect to our teenagers, we need to understand what our triggers are. So go back to those options that I said at the beginning. If we are too tired, too fed up, can't be bothered with their behaviour? Or why? Why are we doing that? Is it because we're under too much pressure ourselves at work? Is it because our teenagers are really driving us to the brink of insanity and we've just had enough? Or is it more we're so terrified and we've got a lot of anxiety about what's going on with them, we're burying our head in the sand? What is going on for you as a parent that is making you react the way that you are doing? Again, I keep going about the Parent Teen Connect. I'm glad I brought it to you at the beginning because you wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about. There is a framework, which again, I'll show you in a minute, that we will take you through. So it's all about understanding your own childhood, understanding your own teenagehood, understanding what triggers you to know how to manage your own teenagers and how your parenting style is. I won't go into too much of that right now because that goes a bit deep into psychology, which is brilliant. It's so exciting. So do sign up to the membership because you'll hear all about that. But what are you transferring and projecting over to your teenager? So if you're fearful or you're anxious or you're overthinking your teenager's behaviour, how much of that are you putting on them? Because sometimes our words can give them an idea that they then think that's what they're feeling. Remember, they're impressionable. Our words are powerful as parents. And that's something we absolutely have to take hold of, is that if we are saying, are you feeling a bit worried? Are you feeling a bit anxious? We will go, yeah, I suppose I am feeling anxious. We will give them those words. We'll almost create the problem ourselves. The connection kickstart. There's something else that we go through in the parentology. And if you're part of the Facebook group or you've had any of the emails that I send out, you might have downloaded the Connection Kickstart, and this is all about breaking down those barriers that our teenagers will put up because they are trying to figure this out. So they're putting the boundaries up, go away, I'm trying to figure it out. They don't know that we know more, even though they think they know more. I'll get myself confused. So download the Connection Kickstart, head over to the Facebook page, it'll be on there, and it's all about breaking down the barriers and building trust so they feel safe to come to you with whatever's on their mind. This doesn't just happen. All of this is new skills that we're learning. We have to adapt to the teenagers as they grow older. So what used to work when they were 7 is absolutely not going to work now as a teenager. You've probably already known that's probably why you're here. We need to change our style. Oh, come on, work. Press the right button, Laura, that might help. So let's think about it again. Let's be really honest and think about what we are doing. Are we giving advice without listening? Typical parenting. We always do that, don't we? We give them advice. We think we know better, even though we do. But we do give advice without listening. We are listening to respond rather than listening to hear. We will assume. Now, that's different to predicting and assuming. Predicting means we are prepared and we will speak to them about it. If we are assuming, we'll be like, oh, they're all right. They've just had a bad day at school. Might not be that. They might be actually really feeling quite ill and they don't know how to talk to you about it. They might be having their hormonal cycle and they don't know what to do. There could be loads going on. So don't assume, always take it to them and encourage them to say, I feel. Are we unintentionally or intentionally shutting down their conversations through frustration or judgment? Everything will be fine. Don't worry. It'll be blown over by tomorrow. You're being very dramatic. All of those things will do nothing for your relationship, either than, like, look at me pointing my finger at you, telling you, do not use these phrases. If you've brought the books or you've looked at the Parenting Unstoppable Girls or the Parenting Teen Boys with Confidence, those books will give you very clear, don't say this, do say this, because these phrases can destroy a relationship really easily. And again, it's something that I get quite strong about, saying to them and brush it. Like if I came home from work and I was like, oh, I've had such a bad day and it's been so bad, it's been so hard. And my husband says to me, being a bit dramatic, aren't you? What response is he expecting from me? I'm going to do one of two. I'm going to tell him where to go and tell him to naff off, or I'm going to shut down and I'm not going to talk to him anymore. So that's what we would be doing to our teenagers, to be mindful of what we are doing and how we are responding. So clear scripts on what to say to your teenager to build trust, because that's what we want to do. When we're going back and forth into their room, when they start to open up or start to break down those walls, that's when we've got to come in with these scripts, all right? When they are distant, I've noticed you've been very quiet lately. Is there something on your mind? Lovely and open shows that we care without adding the pressure. A script for if they snap at us. It sounds like you've had a rough day. Do you want to talk about it or should we have a little chat later? This validates their feelings and offers them a choice. There's no pressure that they need to talk about us now, but what you're saying unintentionally to them or unconsciously to them is, I'm here and I'm ready for you. Look, I'm sitting with my arms open. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Script for starting a difficult conversation. You know something's going on. You know it's something that could be quite not great that you want to hear. Say, or you want to say to them, I want to talk to you about something important, but I also want to make sure that you're ready to talk so they're not tired or hungry or on their phones. When's a good time for you? You are respecting their boundaries and you're showing that you are mindful of their timing. Okay, you're not just going, I need to talk to you about your boyfriend or whatever. You are giving them space to, we're trying to develop these emotional literacy and emotional resilience. Clear scripts of what to say and what not to say. A little bit of an example of what you'll get in the books. So when they are frustrated, do say, it sounds tough. I'm here if you want to vent. Don't say, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Think about how you would react if someone said that to you. Teenagers need us to treat them with respect. When they refuse to talk to you, you can say, I get that you might not feel like you want to talk right now, but I'm here when you are ready. Don't say, why don't you just tell me what's wrong? That sounds really childlike from our point of view, right? Just tell me what's wrong. Look at the attitude that I give. Right, scenario 3, when they make a mistake. We all make mistakes. Let's figure this out together. Rather than, what the hell were you thinking? I told you so. I mean, like when I'm saying it, I'm thinking, oh God. I know it sounds simple. I know I'm not giving you any brand new things here, but our words are powerful and how we use our words will impact your teenager's response to you. So you have to respect them. You have to give them space and respect their boundaries and allow them choice and options if you want that to come back to you. So that's a lot of the stuff that I teach is how to word things. Here are some other top tips. Now, if you've worked with me before, if you've either been a client of mine or you've worked you've been in the Facebook group or anything, I can't stand the word journey. I don't know why, it just makes me feel really funny. But this is a journey. It's not a quick fix. It's something that we are on there. So they became teenagers. We became parents of a teenager and we are working with them rather than against them. Shifting how we speak will take patience and it will take practice and it will need to be consistent. Notice how you feel along the way. So many times I have parents in panic states telling me they're so worried about their teenagers. And the minute I ask them about them, they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm fine. And they'll brush me off. So notice how you are feeling along this journey as well. You're implicated by all these changes. Pay attention to how you feel. You will hopefully, I really hope, feel more calmer, more empowered and more in control as a parent. And my God, please practice self-compassion. You are human first and then a parent. If you lose your cool and start to shout, you need to acknowledge it and apologise for that behaviour because you are modelling that behaviour to your teenagers. Let it go after you've apologised, and then self-compassion. Don't beat yourself up that you lost it. Don't beat yourself up that you said the wrong script. Don't beat yourself up that you told them to just get over it last night. You learn from it and you move on. We are modelling our behaviour to our teenagers. I will tell you now, they might not be listening, but they are bloody watching you. They are watching you. They certainly are. The game-changing phrase. Okay, the phrase. This phrase is a game changer. It is so good to use in any aspect of your life, but with your teenagers, spot on because it built. Well, I'll tell you all. What have I said here? I promise this will change everything. It's a missing piece of the jigsaw, and it comes down to this one phrase. You ready? Do you want comfort or a solution? Do you want a hug or do you want help? Right? Let me explain what I mean by this. Honestly, it changes everything. Oh, I need to figure out where I need to sit. Let me put myself in the middle there. Why this works. Do you want comfort or a solution? This works. So imagine, let's go back to our scenario. Your teenager's in their room. They're not talking. They're telling you to get out. They're telling you, I'm fine. I don't need anything. It's not food. It's not tiredness. What else are we going to do? You go in and say, listen, I can see something's going on for you. Do you need comfort or do you need a solution? It does two things. It makes your teenagers stop and think about what they need. Do they need to be looked after or do they need to help you or do they need you to help them out of a situation? It makes them stop and think about what they need. I feel I need. It also gives you clarity. So go back to what, go back to what we said at the beginning. How many times we've lay in bed just thinking, am I doing enough? Am I doing the right thing? By you offering that one phrase, do you want comfort or a solution, allows you to know that you're saying to them, look, what do you want? What do you need from me? I'm here for you. Rather than guessing and assuming and getting it wrong and saying the wrong thing, all those things we are worried about, that one phrase gets rid of all of that. So they are in a bad mood. What do you need from me? Do you need me to look after you or do you need me to fix things? Tell me what you need. I am here for you. Honestly, it's changed my relationship with my teenagers. I say to every single person that walks into my therapy room, it it just offers that clarity. It gives you confidence that you're doing the right thing. Now, go back to their brain. They might not know what they need. That's fine. But you are going, I am here and I feel confident to ask you, do you want me to help you or do you want me to hug you? What do you need from me? It avoids the guessing and it stops us fixing when things don't need fixing. We've all been in that situation where we know what we need to do, but actually we just need a good cry or we just need a hug or we just need someone to tell us it will all be okay. We don't need someone to say, you need to email your boss. I know I need to email my boss, but I'm really worried about it. So it gives us that position of confidence that we are offering it to them of what they need. And what we are doing is we are building that emotional resilience in our teenagers that they know to stop and think about what they need. Does that make sense? Honestly, start using it now. Game changer. Oh, God. Our instinct, to keep moving myself around, our instinct as a parent is to fix. So that's why do you want comfort or a solution? We want to fix our teenagers. We don't want them to feel sad. We don't want them to feel angry. We want to fix them. Your teenager knows what they need to do, right? If they've fallen out with a friend, they've already thought of what they've got to say tomorrow. They've already thought how they're going to deal with this on Snap. They already know what they need to do. You going in and trying to fix it for them is going to irritate them. And that's when they're going to go, you don't understand, get out of my room, it's fine, don't worry about it. So you offering comfort or a solution, chances are they just want to tell you about it. They just want to hug, they just want to offload it. Okay? Trying to fix the problem can make them feel unheard or misunderstood because that's where we start assuming. I'll email your school and I'll tell them what they need to do. Or let me contact their parents because that's not okay. You're going to make it worse. All right? Listen to your teenager. Asking comfort or a solution shows that you understand and will empower them to know their own feelings. I'm going to give you now, over here, some real life examples, because if you turn around to your teenager, if I turn around to my girls and said, do you want comfort or a solution? They're going to know I've been speaking to a therapist or I've been reading a book. So I'm going to give you some ways here on how to say it without sounding like you've just walked out of a workshop. So your teenager says, I am so stressed about the test tomorrow. You can see the behaviours. They're starting to withdraw. They're snapping. They're not being particularly nice. You say, would it help to talk it through or do you just need to have a break right now? Right? Do you want to talk it through? Do you need to have a break? What do you need? Your teenager says, my friend's been ignoring me all day, right? So they've gone into their phones and not talking to you. Do you want to have a vent about it? Tell me all about it. Or do you want to brainstorm what we need to do? Your teenager says, I'm just so tired of everything. That can really trigger quite a lot of anxiety for many parents. I'm tired. I've had enough. I'm done with this. It can trigger a feeling that they're going to do something to themselves, right? Especially if they've got a history of self-harm or suicidal thoughts. So we then say, do you need a hug or do you want to talk it through? Right? So we're not already always doing something. We're just asking them to talk it through, or do they just need a hug? Your teenager says, my friends were laughing at me today in class. It was so embarrassing. Oh, man, that feels rough. Do you want to talk about it, about what you're going to say tomorrow, or just tell me all about it? What do you want to do? So you can see how you can use these different phrases to word comfort or solution. You can just say comfort or a solution. Do you want a hug? Do you want help? You can say what you need, but basically you're giving them two options. Do you want me to fix or do you want me to look after? Yeah. This phrase is, let me put myself down there. This phrase is teaching emotional resilience. It allows them to pause and identify their feelings, ask for what they need and own their own emotions and take responsibility for their choices. And we need to be doing exactly the same. They will not learn if we are not doing it as well. They won't understand it. So make sure you are modelling exactly what I'm saying to you now with your partner, with your friends, with your family. Ask them, do you want comfort or a solution? Let's start getting this into practice every single day. My slide's working. The top tips, like I just said, practice it everywhere. Try this on your friends, your colleagues, everywhere. Try it at work. It works for everyone, not just your teenagers. Adapt the phrase to fit your style. Obviously, if that's not how you talk to your teenager, then use how you would normally do. Go all in. When they say they want you to fix, you can turn up full fixing parent mode and just knock it out of the park. Just do whatever you want to help fix them because they're giving you permission to put your A game on and fix their problem, which is, again, instinctively what us parents want to do. Sorry, I should know where I'm putting myself. Here's a recap. Attitude is often the surface behaviour, which we now know. So we need to think about that iceberg, understand that the behaviours that they are showing us are just surface level. There is going to be something else behind that attitude. Try a little bit of food, try a little rest. If that doesn't fix, there is something else going on. Teach them all about emotional literacy. You can tell them their brain isn't fully developed. I mean, to be fair, they probably won't react too well to that. But remember, we are teaching them the words they need to use. We are building that gap. We are trying to build that gap. This logic won't be fully formed until their mid-20s. So this goes on for quite some time. And it's risk-taking that is the last to be developed. Hence why our teenagers do stupid things. So we need to build that gap for them and help them understand what they need to know. Ask them, do you want comfort or a solution? This one phrase will empower your teen and transform how you both handle teenage challenges. I said at the beginning, it will get you out of every single thing. If you are dealing with a teenager who is going crazy, silently withdrawing, if they are mentally not doing very well, do you want comfort or a solution will help you out of any situation. If you don't know what to do, that's the one phrase that you need. Write on your hand, tattoo it on your forehead. Do you want comfort or a solution? It will empower you, and practice makes progress. Just keep going. Just keep trying it. Keep doing it, and it will build strength and connection. I promise you. Now, what could your relationship look like if you just changed that one thing about how you communicated and a little bit of the change about how you interact with them when they are showing the attitude, and how do you change your phrases and your words to support them? Now you know that their logic isn't working because it's not built yet. So how do we make sure that we help them understand these emotional parts here? And it's all to do with your words. So what could it look like if you change those few things? Look bloody brilliant. So, did not think this through with me. You can take everything that I've shared today and you can start applying it on your own. Absolutely. Those phrases, I will send you the screens, the slides of this. You can use those phrases today, right now. At the end of this workshop, go and say hello to your teen and see what mood they're in. Start to use your mind and understand what's going on. But the truth is, having the right support and guidance will make this journey much more effective for you. So what if we could work through these challenges together? We could build much stronger, deeper relationships with your teen and help you feel more confident. Because what tends to happen, and it happens in therapy and it happens in the coaching world as well, people have a session or they'll watch a workshop and they will feel really empowered. Yeah, I can do this. I'm going to change everything. It's going to be great. I'm going to make this work. And very quickly we go back into default behaviours and habits. So how can we make sure that we are really consistently changing our behaviours? And how do we make sure that we are keeping them, how can we make sure that we are learning more and growing more as parents as we are developing alongside our teenager? So we are working with them, not against them. And that is where the Parent-Teen Connect comes into. I don't think I can move myself anywhere on this page. So the Parent-Teen Connect framework, this is what the membership and everything that I'm doing with Parentology is built upon. And it takes us through 5 steps. And these 5 steps are really crucial in helping your teenager become the adult you want them to become. So the first step, so we're coming from a place of not really knowing what to do, but the first step is we need to get crystal clear on what we are feeling, what our own teenagehood was about, what the triggers are. Like I've mentioned there, if we are triggered by either teenagers' past behaviours or our own past behaviours, it will absolutely impact how we parent. It would be naive to think it didn't. So what's really bothering us about our teen? Why are we really bothered that they've gone quiet in their room? Is it a fear? Is it an anxiety? What is really bothering us? Because what is our problem, right? So getting crystal clear on what is going on in your household and what is going on for yourself. Number 2, all about connection, all about conversation, all about communication. So kickstarting it with simple scripts, strengthening our connection and transforming our relationship is all about getting that connection and understanding the script of what to say and what not to say. This is really simple. You just learn them. So in the Parent-Teen Connect, I will be offering scripts and what to say and what not to say, and just copy them. And it will change your relationship with your teenager. Number 3, how to respect boundaries, how to put boundaries in place, how to be flexible with boundaries, Understanding, setting clear, respectful boundaries to build and guide trust. In the Connect, in the membership already is a whole part on boundaries, and it's all about them being there to protect, to guide and teach your teenager, not to control, and how we change it from being controlling into protecting, teaching and guiding. So that's already there waiting for you to have a little watch. Number 4, all about inner anchor. This is what I'm talking about, self-compassion, being able to forgive ourselves, understand that we have our own stresses going on. We are probably all within the age range of around the 40s, the 30s, 40s, 50s. We are in a stage of our life where we are having big changes. Understanding that our emotional well-being is so important to understanding our teenagers' well-being. If you are a lady or if you are heading towards perimenopause, then you will know that puberty and perimenopause do not go hand in hand, and a lot of this will come into play in this part. So there'll be lots of bits and pieces to learn all about self-compassion. And number 5, I think this has come very much from my own personal experience, is the dream that I just have these lovely bonds with my children when they hit adulthood, when they go out in their world on their own, that they want to come back to me and have a cup of tea and tell me about their life, right? That's all I want. I just want them to be happy. And how do we get that? By understanding what our future plan and goals are. And all of this will lead us to feeling really ready for them. Whatever comes their way, whatever stresses they have, whatever exam pressures they have, relationship problems they have, we will be able to guide them and reassure them. So this membership is, I love it. I've been working on it for the last few months. I have been putting lots of stuff together, and it's ready to go. So it's just about making parenting simple. As you go into the membership, there's lots of different things. There's masterclasses there, all about different areas. And there's a little one here about friends and social media and the impact that has on identity. So at the moment, we are going through the psychology behind the behaviour. Understanding boundaries, understanding what stress looks like for our teenagers. And then there is a part all about identity and personality formation. So how our early teen years absolutely form our personality and identity for the rest of our lives, and where the midlife crisis phrase comes from. So that's a really interesting one to understand how we are impacting our teenagers' behaviour and how we are shaping their identity and personality as it goes. There is also numerous downloads to have in there, lots of resources about sleep solutions, tackling homework, understanding self-harm. All of these I will be going into so much more detail as the membership progresses, as the months go by, and every month I will be dropping a new topic into the membership. So you will receive a masterclass that will have downloadable resources, so scripts, like I've said, there'll be quizzes, there'll be assessment type things, there'll be lots of stuff to understand our own parenting. There will also be a live Q&A available that will allow us to speak in real time and understand what's going on for us at that moment. It doesn't necessarily need to be about the topic that we're on. It could be about anything that is going on in your life with your teenager. There will also be discounts and first early bird places for certain things that will be coming up, and there will also be separate Facebook community for everyone that's in the membership to go over there and speak to other members that are going through the same thing. Again, you don't have to get involved with the community side of it. We do know that community really builds confidence in our parenting, but likewise I know there's many parents out there that just want to sit in the background and just get the information, because ultimately it's quite a big thing dealing with teenagers and dealing with your own feelings about teenagehood. There's all of that available in the membership. Honestly, I'm so excited. I've got 82 different topics to talk about. It's 82 months worth of stuff. That's what I have going on. All right, so lots of love from past clients that I've helped. So although the membership is brand new, I have been working with parents and teenagers forever. I've been working with them for so long, and I've some lovely testimonies that have come through. These are not their pictures or their names, because I've kept their confidentiality and their anonymity. But please, if you want to know any more, I can absolutely talk to you one-on-one about them. But support has been invaluable in boosting their confidence as a parent, good advice and passion, and helping you transform the parenting journey. Lovely Leanne has been working with me since 2021 and provided safe space and have helped her understand, giving them areas to heal from past trauma. I am a psychotherapist by trade. So ultimately, if there's stuff to be working through in your own past about how you parent your teenagers, then I do offer sessions on a one-to-one basis, either counselling or coaching. I have coaching. I have coaching packages that you are welcome to look into, but also counselling sessions if you want to go a bit deeper into what's been happening to you and heal from your past. And then the lovely Rebecca, who we helped guide through the challenges of a blended family, and the teenagers were not coping too well with that, and we worked with understanding how their behaviours were impacting, and worked in a whole family scenario to work with them. I have lots of little sort of testimonies and stuff of past work that I've done with teenagers and the parents. If you want to know any more, do let me know. Founder membership information. So basically, imagine having everything that you need to help you understand your teenager behaviour in your pocket, all in one place, on your phone, whenever you need it. You will get monthly workshops on all the must-know topics like mental health. Mental health is huge. I will be going into anxiety, depression, self-harm, suicide ideation, what to do about self-esteem, how to work on identity, school refusal. I was in educational welfare in a past life, so I've got lots of information about that. And again, if you've watched any of the stuff I've put on social media, you'll understand my concerns around education. Vaping, drugs, loads of stuff. Honestly, like I said, I've got 82 different topics to cover, and that will grow. I'm sure that will grow. I don't know how many years that is. Anyway, long time. I will be doing live Q&As each month to get your burning questions answered. So I will be hosting a live Q&A over a Zoom call, and that will allow you to ask me questions directly, and we can have a lovely conversation with other parents to understand what we're all going through. There'll be exclusive discounts on the coaching and the 2 books that I've mentioned already. Loads of downloadable tools that you'll be able to access whenever you want, and I will constantly be putting stuff on this. And for you guys who are watching this membership, you will get all of this for £6.99 per month. Forever. You can stay with us until when your teenagers have gone on, but the reason for that is I'm growing it. So at the moment it's growing. There's plenty of stuff on there right now to get you going, but at the moment it's new. I would really appreciate any feedback you guys would have for me. So kind of a pilot scheme really for you to come on board and tell me what you would like. Like I said, I've got all these topics, but if there's certain areas you want me to focus on before another one, then we can talk about that and let me know. But yes, £6.99 per month to have all of this stuff. You can cancel at any time. There's 100% guaranteed cashback if you don't like it. Lots of stuff going on. So really excited about it. January's topic, this is where it all begins. We are going into the psychology behind the behaviour. I will start introducing more things like the brain structure and how the brain is under construction. I go into different theories about how identity is being formed. My whole background is in psychology and I love it. I just love it. I'm very much, if you understand what's happening, if you've got knowledge, then we have power and we can understand our own thoughts and minds. And there's lots of stuff there just about the theory behind our teenagers and what's happening for them. It's not heavy, it's not really in-depth of stuff, but there's a few things to read if you want to go deeper into it, and lots of links if you want to know more. But it's just really interesting stuff. Of course I'm biased, but I find it really interesting. Teenagers' identity development, spot on, spot on. So, I've just said all this. Discover how your teen brain develops and how their personality and their identity is taking shape. Understanding why the silences and the back chats are essential and crucial for their growth and for them to navigate with ease what's happening for them. Learn how to guide confidently through the transformation phase of their life. So how to get through, we talk about the ages of 12 to 15. Those are really critical stages, and how if divorce, trauma, bereavement, anything like that's happening in those years, how to work through them so we don't get stuck in a midlife crisis. I won't spoil that. It's all in the membership. Exploring the surprising link between teenage. Just said that one. And to gain all the practical tools and insights to support you and your teen. And again, the supportive community. I'm on the end of an email or a message, and the community that we will build, that I really hope you'll be part of building, would just be fantastic. I just think it's such an exciting thing to do. I'll keep repeating myself. So we've talked about this, all about the psychology, and there'll be an on-demand play. So of course it will just be on there recorded. You can watch it when you want. You can go back and forth and understand it. The first Q&A session will be the 16th of January. This is likely to change actually to the week after. You will get all the information for that, and you'll get the link to go in, and I will be recording it if I can figure out how to record. And it will be on a replay section in the membership. There's loads of resources out there already, and there is a huge 19-page self-reflection guide that I've put together just for you, that will really dig deep into your own teenage years yourself, because understanding how we were parented, understanding the troubles that we had as teenagers absolutely impacts how we are working with our teenagers today. You can enjoy 10% off the 2 books that I've mentioned for the entire month of January, and I will tell you how to do that. And you will have instant access to the community, which I really hope you'd all join, because it will be quite a lonely community with just little old me sitting in the Facebook group waiting to chat. So if you've been part of the Parenting Teen Hub, which is the other Facebook group, then you'll have an understanding of what we'll be talking about. But this one will be it'll be much more private, just for people who are on this membership and will be in this process with you. So I really hope that will be a place that you would want to share things that are going on, and we will all offer a bit of support and advice together. I'm not going to read through this because it's quite a hefty slide, but basically before, just being very confused and overwhelmed and struggling with teenage behaviour. I can't tell you how often I fall into this, even being the work that I do. We've just had Christmas, and my 16-year-old was just, sometimes I'm just looking at her thinking, how did she just talk to me like that? What the hell's going on here? I don't know how to react. So I have to think back. I think back to the book, actually, The Parenting Unstoppable Girls, because it's very much based off my teenagers. To the after, where we just want to be really clear and confident and understand who we are and how we're parented. And you know what? The biggest thing is when our teenagers are having an absolute meltdown, they don't, their lives are crashing down because what they're going through is really, really important, is to be able to stand back and go, okay, how can I best manage this and not take it personally, not feel that I'm failing as a parent, and understand that I'm doing the best for them using the tools that I can give you. Honestly, it's priceless. Priceless. Oh, hold on, skip through. So let's think about 5 years from now. Your teenagers finish school, starting college or heading off to university. What do you want your relationship to look like? There's a little pen mark there. You can have a little jot down of what you think. But I've already said this before. I just want my teenagers, I don't really care if they go to uni, college, I'll support them whatever career path they want to take. But I just want them to keep in touch with me. I really want them to be able to call me and tell me what they're up to, or tell me where they've gone, or tell me what they have for their dinner. I just want that communication, not in an obsessive way. Oh, my light's gone out. Not in a completely obsessive way, but in a way that is supportive and that they want to tell me about it. You know, that's what I want. So that's what I want in 5 years' time. What do you want your life to look like with your teenager in 5 years' time? A little bit more of a breakdown of what comes in the membership. So every month you'll get over £200 worth of stuff in the membership. Whoop. And as I keep saying, this offer will be for £6.99 per month forever for founding members. And this offer will be open until Sunday, when I will be closing the doors on the membership. So we get a lovely little group that are already in. So yeah, that's what I'm offering. So I really hope that sounds interesting and intriguing to you. Like I said, in the membership at the moment, there is a psychology behind the behaviour, a few videos on that and some downloadables. There is a whole big section on personality development, identity development. There's self-reflection guides. I've put a few quizzes in there. All the downloads from, these are like little quick guides of sleep solutions for your teens, understanding self-harm and what to do if your teenager, or you've just discovered that your teenager is self-harming, how to tackle homework, battles, all that sort of stuff is in the download section. So like I said, £6.99 until Sunday, the 12th of January, when those doors will be closed, and the price will jump up at the end of the month to £14.99 when I reopen the doors. So if that's the right word. But basically, yeah, come and join me for the Founders membership. And I would love you guys to come and join me. I really hope you have enjoyed this workshop. I really hope that you found something quite useful in it. Like I said, I will email you over the slides of the workshop, so you can have a look at some of the scripts that I've put in there. But I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. Thank you so much for dealing with the light that's just gone off and me jumping around the screen. And if you would like to learn anything more, or you want to learn about the coaching or counselling packages that I have, or understand a little bit more about the Parent Teen Connect, drop me an email at info@parentologyworld.com. I'll also send over the link as well, because the link will tell you so much more about what the Parent Teen membership has to offer. And until then, I hope I see you over there. But thank you so much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed it. Look after yourself and go and see if your teenager's all right. Take care. Bye-bye.